Mason,
Thaddeus?
you want to hear a story?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, so this is several years ago. We were doing a restaurant build out in Scottsdale, and we're coming to the end of the project. They're getting ready to seal the floors. We had a scissor lift inside because obviously we've got some very tall ceilings that we need to access. They are doing tile in the back of the restaurant. It has just been laid down, so I can't drive the scissor lift to the back of the restaurant just through the pass-through. I've got to take the scissor lift all the way around the building and then go through the door behind the restaurant. So I'm driving this thing. I've got like the 3 to 4 foot sidewalk, and then we're getting to this door. The problem is the door opens up towards the scissor lift now. So to be able to kind of swing that scissor lift in, I've got less room. So there's the crew of tile guys who are there. Great dudes, loved working with them. Just solid guys all around. Anyways, they're there. They're watching me. I forget how old I was. Maybe 20, 19 or 20. Anyways, they're like, all right, here's what we're going to do. You're going to drive off the curb. We're going to hold on to the scissor lift. There's several of them. And then we're going to make that turn into the restaurant. I am nervous as all get out. But they're like, no, this is going to work.
How heavy is a scissor lift?
Heavy as...
That's what I'm imagining.
But, so, the good news is the weight, for the most part, is on the bottom, right? Because you don't want them to be top heavy when you're up swinging in the air. And this is fully compressed down. But, still, pretty freaking heavy. So, we start doing it, driving off that curb to try and make that turn, and it's looking like we're not really going to be able to make it. We might need a little more space. So there's a good amount of guys out there. There's 3 or 4 that are holding it. There's still probably 3 or 4 guys.
Like you're in the air?
Have you seen a scissor lift when it's like all the way down?
Yeah, roughly about 5.5 feet up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like they grabbed it from the bottom?
They're standing.
And pushing against the side.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
As we're driving off the curb. So they're standing on the street. I'm up on the sidewalk,
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
it's that drop, so we don't just want to tip the whole thing over. And so as we're driving off, then some of the guys start grabbing like thin set and just random 2x4 like chunks and trying to put it like under some of the wheels. And so it's taking some back and forth, and I don't know. It was kind of craziness for a minute, but we finally got it in there. Like you're having to duck as we're driving this thing to get it through the doorway, but it was just absolute kind of madness where half of this thing is not on the curb, and there's like 4 guys who are just holding this thing up as we're making the turn. It was...
Did you make the turn?
Oh, yeah. We got it in there. It was hilarious and good for us, but I just thought it was hilarious because I'm 19 or 20 just being like, what are we doing? And they were so confident that, yeah, this is going to work. And I'm like, all right. But there's some of those guys who just have that, like, can-do attitude. Like, no, we just got to get it done. Yeah, cool. Like, whatever. There we go. So.
I would have switched with somebody. Somebody else drive the shit. I'm not doing that.
They were even asking if I wanted to do that. But that was the weird part about the stuff at the time, that I was supposed to be in charge of the job when the general contractor wasn't there, and we were the ones who rented it. So I was like, no, I should be the one to drive this. And yeah, good times. So yeah. All right, it has been a while. I feel like my mic is doing weird things, so I'm gonna try and sort that out real quick. It's been a couple weeks since we've seen Joe on the podcast, and
Unfortunately,
I've had a week off because we were working last week, and then...
Or tell everybody what really happened last week.
I went to a wedding.
/ week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I got engaged.
There we go. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. So after the last podcast Mason and I had together, went and bought the ring, got engaged that weekend.
Yeah,
so
as in, like, we didn't get engaged. He bought it for another woman.
Mason and I are very
Just
happy
to
with our
clarify.
relationship together. Getting married in May, so it'll be good. Yeah.
I have 2 people competing for Thaddeus's love over mine. And he won't even acknowledge me on that.
All right.
Can I get invited to your Are you having a bachelor party?
Yeah.
Can I be invited to it?
I'll talk to my brother if he
You don't trust me?
survives his little hospital visit.
Oh yeah.
I
hopefully.
shouldn't have said that.
cut that out.
He made a phone call. He's fine.
Should do your bachelor party. Are you getting drunk at your bachelor party?
No.
Does any of your family members drink alcohol
My brother does, yeah.
significantly? Like him and
He
Joe
got-
get along.
He got tanked for his 21st.
Is it a younger brother or older brother?
Younger brother, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's married, has a kid.
What are you doing for your bachelor party? Do you know?
We're going to go shooting and then go back to his place. He's going to grill up some steaks. Dude, he's got a smoker. He knows how to use that thing. He'll make some steaks that are just... You wonder why you go out to eat dinner when he's making food like that. You're like, all right. So he'll be making dinner, and then we'll just be kind of hanging out and playing games and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I'll make sure to send over a midget stripper for you.
I appreciate
I've
it.
already got one male stripper in mind.
Yeah, it was definitely
Tyrone.
male.
Tyrone.
Yes.
I thought it'd be hilarious just because...
Is that the big black guy that's on all the memes? Where he's
Oh,
sitting
no,
there
you're
and
thinking
he's
of
got
Ricardo.
a 24-inch cock?
No, I'd love to get him, though, but he's expensive, I bet. There's actually there's a cluster mod you can
Do you think
for
you
your
have to sign a waiver in case you get hit by it?
You have to.
Yeah.
That's a lethal weapon. It literally meets ATS regulations for all their weapons, AOFs or AOWs.
Yeah. I was thinking of messing with my fiance if I figured out where and when her bachelorette party is going to be. Like, pretend to send a male stripper there, just so that she
I
would
could
be
picture
mortified.
you guys. I could picture you guys having shared bachelorette party.
No, I heard about someone doing that, and I was just like, no.
Well, why not? It's not like you guys are doing anything crazy.
I don't even know what he's talking about. You guys talking about marriage?
No,
We're talking about
a
bachelor
shared
party.
bachelor and bachelorette party. So instead of doing a bachelorette party and a bachelor party, doing them together. As
Oh,
one party.
no.
That's
That's
called
out of the question.
that's called a wedding.
Yeah. So
You
here's
want to
what
get
happens.
rowdy with your boys?
If
Yeah,
you,
but what's rowdy with you?
hold on. Oh, we're talking like 40-mile-an-hour bowling balls, screaming, drunk. We got one guy wearing size 16 bowling shoes. It's the only time anyone's ever worn them. He does not wear his size 16.
Yeah, but the goal is to get him drunk.
No,
Okay,
it would happen,
all
but
right.
we'd get him in more trouble than it'd be worth.
Do you want to tell the story?
Which one?
The Dave and Buster's story.
Oh, yeah. I drank a lot.
No.
No way.
All right.
No, we all got together, and I think it was
It's for
your-
Bobby's birthday, right?
Bobby's birthday. Yeah, your lady's first time out with the boys.
Yeah.
Myself, Bobby.
Is this
Jerome.
the same Bobby when you bought the lube and he came?
Yes, that
Okay.
one. Yes.
Oh, that was before we aired. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue.
Hello.
Joe's not gay, by the way. It's a longer story. We'll have to tell another
What if
time.
he was
You're
gay?
promising a lot up front.
What if he was gay?
This is true.
Then it would be a surprise.
He would be surprised. But yeah, so we were all hanging out for buddy's birthday at Bobby, and we wanted to go to Dave and Buster's. So that's where we went. Thaddeus, fantastic idea. Bring my old lady. So Kendrick.
Okay, wait. I need to back up on that because I was told that
You brought his old lady like as your date to the party?
No, his.
So I brought
A old
My-
lady or your current lady?
my fiance, then girlfriend.
Okay. I didn't know
So,
how far back the story
At the
went.
time, why am I blanking on his name? The
Bobby?
crazy
Jerome.
friend.
Oh, Gabe.
Gabe. Yep, and I think it was Gabe and Jerome were both supposed to bring dates, or at least Jerome was.
Yeah.
He was supposed to bring his fiance.
Yep.
So she was supposed to be there, so I was like, okay, I'm like, is it cool if I bring my girlfriend? And Bobby was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, it'd be cool. And it was going to be the first time that she was meeting Bobby and Joe, I think, right?
No, she met me at the lake before.
So first time meeting Bobby then, maybe.
Yeah, and Jerome and Gabe. And
Yeah. So
everyone else, yeah.
yes. So there were other girls who were supposed to be there we show up. Those girls didn't show up. So, starting off the night with, she's the only girl. Go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah, only girl there. At this point, you guys have walked in on me going over the fundamentals of D&D with the bartender, because I've already pre-gamed a couple of drinks before your arrival.
What's a D&D?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, this night was a good time.
This guy was on something, whatever it was, I needed some of it.
He was on some kind of amphetamine.
Who was?
The bartender.
Yeah, the guy who didn't charge me for 80% of my drinks.
Oh,
Dude.
yeah, he's trying to fuck.
Oh, he didn't charge anyone for a lot of things. They're probably like short $400 from that night.
Dude, it was...
Did he score anybody? Because obviously he was trying to
He
fuck
was
somebody.
No, dude, we
No.
think he was legit just high as hell get out.
Yeah, he
And
was.
you took advantage of him.
He gave
No,
us our tabs.
we didn't. He just gave us our tabs, and I was like, 20 bones. I have been drinking vodka Red Bulls all night.
How much did you tip him?
Huh?
I think
you
we
tip
tipped
him?
him pretty well.
Oh, I dropped him like $40, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
he pocketed some cash.
Okay,
Sure.
but
Yeah, go on.
So, as the night goes on, people are progressively drinking more beer and liquor, if you're me. We got a couple of mixed drinks into Gabe, and that is when things started getting really fun. Because we went from playing pool and getting Thaddeus warmed up a little bit, seeing where he was at mentally. Thaddeus not drinking anything but water, mind you, so he's keeping his calm for the most part, until he starts losing. He's good at losing sometimes.
what?
Both pool, and then we started bringing it over to the bowling alley.
Are you not,
Which
are you
is
not
most-
good at pool?
not necessarily.
Yeah. Okay.
But, okay, so my fiance does not like swearing.
Oh, well, yeah, she probably won't like me then. Does she like Joe?
I don't know.
Is he not invited to the wedding?
He's in my wedding.
Oh, she's pissed.
No, she understands. Which it's not like she doesn't like jokes. So basically what happens is, like, you know me, I swear a lot.
Yeah.
And so I think it wasn't just that I was losing at pool, but the guys were also like messing with me while I'm playing pool. So there's a couple times where I'm starting to say things, like I'm kind of in the environment with my boys. So I was still pretty tame for what I can be at my regular or full tilt. But so at a certain point, I notice something's wrong because she's upset. And we go over to the part where we're bowling, and our friend Gabe, big dude, is just hurling bowling balls down this alley as fast. He wants to hit a couple pins, but he just wants to just see how fast did that ball fly down that
Did he
lane.
go behind the counter and get like the 8 pound
Six-
balls?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
6 pound, 8 pound, whatever it was, John. Throwing as fast as we can. So I know she's upset. I don't know what she's upset about. So we leave there and find out that it basically, come to find out, is
Joe touched
because-
her.
No.
Oh, okay.
Bad. Setting me up for failure. You're going to get me killed.
But who was it? Was she mad at you?
She was mad at me.
Okay.
Yeah. Because,
We encourage provocative behavior.
yeah.
Is a nice way to put it.
Yeah. But
Oh, man.
since then, it has been a conversation of like, hey, you have to understand who Bobby and Joe are, that they are,
Who they are.
no, not necessarily that, but like they'll go to the end of the world for you if you're one of their people. They'll show up with guns, and yeah.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that if you ask Joe to cut you, he probably won't do it.
Well, it's different with him.
All right, we do need to preface this episode with we are starting probably almost an hour later than
No,
We
an
had-
hour. Yeah.
we had intended.
Full hour, yeah.
And there was a lot of
Jive.
going on before that. So, but all right, we do have to also cover. It's been a couple weeks since we've seen Joe.
Hi.
Joe, where the fuck were you?
Definitely not jail.
Your fiance doesn't listen to this podcast, does she?
No,
Okay, because she for sure wouldn't like me.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Good
I'm
Lord.
I'm waiting for like something like this to happen where it's like, does your fiance listen to this? No, and that's gonna be the one
Episode she listens to.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because you said it so emphatically.
yeah. I love you, babe.
He does. This is true. But yeah,
All right. Yeah. Where were you?
I mean, I've been all over the map. We did some fun. We had the Doodle Bug Death Match, aka the Easy Hood Ride, where
The hood ride?
Yeah, men from the age of I want to say the youngest participant there was probably like 12 years old, and the oldest person there was probably like 60 something, 66, 67, I think. Where we were all on mini bikes riding around downtown Phoenix, hypothetically in Minecraft, of course. If there's entities listening to this who might use it as evidence against me, you cannot because it is in a video game. We did not do this in real life. Of course, it's against the law. But we were doing 50 miles an hour down Jefferson on mini bikes, and there was 400 of us.
Are there any videos of this happening in Minecraft?
Lots and lots and lots. And my favorite one, unfortunately, so when you're doing 50 miles an hour on a mini bike, things can go wrong quickly. And there's not a lot you can do about it. You just kind of got to go with the flow because you can't exactly walk away at 50 miles an hour. There was one girl who was doing a wheelie on a Honda Grom. And she at some point, or she hit somebody, or somebody had hit her in this process. She went down, fell off her bike. I saw her go down, and it looked gnarly. So I see her shoes like yard sale to either end of the street, and we've still got a quarter mile of people behind us coming up at like 40. So I'm like trying to get everyone to slow down so she can get over to the sidewalk. And I grab her shoes and I put them down next to her. And as I'm going to stand up to see if she like needs any medical attention that I could perhaps provide, I see her leg like right above her kneecap, just like a 6x6 square inch like mass of tissue just missing off her leg.
No.
Not even bleeding yet, just straight muscle, and I can see the bone a little bit. I'm pretty sure.
Did you go pick that up for her and put it next to her as well?
No, it was like it was mist in the road, dude. She went down bad. So I looked at the Facebook group later. It turns out she had broken her knee. She was skinned to the bone on that same knee she broke. She broke both of her ankles. She went to surgery like 3 hours after the accident, I think. And they had to button her up pretty good. Can you relax?
I didn't do anything.
He's got to take his vitamins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Take
left her at my house anyway, so.
Right on. I thought I said Valentine's Day. I'm like, damn, another one alone. Okay.
Hey, babe, I love you. It's good to be alone on Valentine's Day.
I don't know about that. I'm just going to work in my car in the garage. But yeah, that's another thing I've been doing is trying to button up that turbo kit more. And the more I talk about it, the less work I do. So I try not to talk about it too much. And what else? Man, just trying to stay busy, doing a lot of work with this guy. We've been killing it with some of the side stuff. And then regular work has been pretty demanding. I think I've even got a 13-hour workday in this week, which is fun because that means I'm wearing steel-toed boots about 15 hours of the day, which gets tiring. I'm still wearing them now, actually. Fuck your Jordans. You'll get some Red Wings.
Oh, watch your mouth, dude. You can't be saying that kind of stuff.
When?
You can't say fuck your Jordans.
Fuck your Jordans.
Why?
They're bad.
Do you even own a pair?
No.
Exactly.
My
You're
Red
not-
Wings cost more than
You're
most
not
Jordans.
worthy 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. These are $300 boots, son.
Yeah. Depends on what kind of Jordans you get, but. Anyways, that's fucking disrespectful.
Fuck Jordans. Ain't nothing good ever happened in a pair of Jordans.
A lot of things have happened.
A lot of things have happened. Not good things.
I lost my virginity in a pair of Jordans.
I
I left them on too.
I was about to say,
How'd you get your pants off?
he
Oh,
did
no.
it. Just
Oh.
pants are out in the ankle.
Oh, no.
I lost my virginity in Jordans.
I'm so confused, dude. I'm tired. What is happening?
Oh,
Is,
yeah.
is this going to ever go anywhere?
No.
Yeah, probably. We still have time. Mason, you were in Vegas.
I was for a bachelor party.
How'd that go? Wait, hold on. Before you
Oh,
answer
that's
that,
the one I was invited to.
how many penises did you see? Raw.
Just myself. Yeah.
One. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And that was, in the bathroom, going poop, taking a shower. Nothing fancy,
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, there's men out there who don't even get that, so,
Yeah,
how that goes.
no. It was fun. I came back from Vegas Positive money.
What?
Really?
Yep, minus food and drinks, everything plus $150.
There we go.
Dang.
Yep.
You paid for gas on the way back and everything.
Yep. Speaking of that, Austin still owes me gas money.
Austin,
Do you think you're ever getting that back?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah,
after you just said you won money, I don't think you're going to get back.
I'll get it
Oh, I
back.
think it's Austin.
I'll get it back for sure.
If Austin listens to this podcast, thanks for listening, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it. Actually, do it again.
Yeah, no. Let's see. Saturday night,
I'm gonna adjust the camera.
we went out. We were actually on a blackjack table, like 5 of us, for like 4 hours. Waitress came every 20 minutes, just feeding drinks. There was at a point where I had 2 drinks. I saw she was coming, so I put one to my lap and threw one back and ordered another one. But anyways,
I've heard a rumor that drinks are free when you're playing, yeah?
Yeah. Well, you tip her. Yeah, that's why drinks were just coming. You never been to Vegas?
No.
Oh, we should do a podcast there. But
We
anyways, so
I'll get arrested.
I don't really know
go.
what time
Hey,
it was.
if we do our drinking podcast, should we just take it to Vegas?
Oh yes, if we do it, when we do it,
All right.
because we might do a drinking podcast just regardless if you participate or not.
I'll participate. I just
But anyways, long story short, somehow everybody went home. I was still doing my thing. There's about a 3-hour window, maybe 4 hours, that I don't remember. But
Similar
I was,
to last year?
I was at New York.
Similar
Gambling.
to last year.
I was down $600. I was only going to gamble 200 when I was there. But then, 3 hours, 4 hours go by. My phone rings. It's Adam, but I didn't answer it. Like I saw I had a missed call, and I realized that it was 6:30 in the morning. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go. And then I realized that I'm at Planet Hollywood, which is a bar not necessarily on the strip that you kind of have to take an Uber or a taxi to. So I had to order an Uber, make it back. It's like 7:30. Everybody's packing up to leave. I'm like, shit, haven't slept yet. Well, I drove. Adam he's got one of those breathalyzers. He breathalyzes me. Only .06. But not to mention Friday night, actually I went to bed before 12, but I got up at like 5:30 because we went golfing. So I got about 5 hours of sleep over 2 nights. So I let somebody else drive home. And then when I got back to the hotel, emptied out my pockets, and I've got about $800 of chips in my pocket. So whatever happened in Planet Hollywood, maybe I did see more than one penis. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I came back
maybe
in the
more than
positive.
one person saw your
yeah,
penis.
that's where the chips came from, actually.
But I came back positive.
There
Very
you go.
good. Well, congratulations. What's that? 10% of the population that go to Vegas?
Yes. So I don't recommend that because I am about to turn 34. And, as you get older, you need your sleep. I wasn't functionable for about 2 days afterwards. Took me a while to recover.
Joe, you want to tell your no sleep story, or should we save that one?
Is this the recent one?
Yes.
Oh.
You have more than one.
Well, it's not alcohol related is a thing. It's helping people because I'm a good person.
I mean,
I'm also not smart,
tomato.
but I'm good. Good guy. My heart is bigger than my brain. We'll start there. Get a call from a friend
That's
saying,
not all your heart's bigger than.
Dick is bigger than his heart.
Yes, I'm packing some medium meat, dude. Extra medium. But yeah, so one of my buddies calls me, and he says, "Hey man, check it out. Here's the deal. What are you doing?" I look at my phone. We're teetering at 1 o'clock in the morning. Just trying to sleep, Just got off work, because I worked a 10-hour shift at work, and then I went and I caught up with him and did some more side
What
work.
made you do some side work? Okay.
Yeah, this is Saturday. We did some work on Saturday, right? We were there for how long?
That was that Saturday.
That was that Saturday. Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, we pulled an 11-hour day that day.
No, we did 11 hours of work that day. And I got home at like 5 or something, fell asleep. Woke up to boarding 1 o'clock to the phone call from my buddy saying, "Hey, I need your help. I need a quick, I need help getting out of the situation. I'm kind of stuck somewhere. Just got my Ranger and I'm high centered on something. Can you come give me a quick yank? I'm like, okay, like where? Well, it's in Flagstaff. Like it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You're in Flagstaff. And
So you're a
stuck
booty call. He called you at 1 o'clock in the morning for a quick yank.
for a quick yank.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a homie right there.
Yep. Exactly. He said, "Can you drive 2.5 hours to come pull me out of the spot I'm high centered on?" And me being who I am, I don't want him and his girlfriend and his dog to have a terrible night in 5-degree weather, stuck in a truck in the middle of nowhere. So I say, yeah, sure, I can come through and help you out. So I get to where I'm going, and I go to look at the road where he's at, and it's snow, and I know that. And as I approach the road and kind of poke around it with my shovel and whatnot, my machete, making sure it's all good, I'm realizing that it seems relatively safe. So I do the smart thing, and I say, all right, yeah, we're good to go. I'm going to pull up, get behind him on his truck, and just hook him up to one of my hitch points on my front end of my truck, and yank him right out. Well, I make it about 300 feet, 400 feet onto this snow road before my truck decides, hey, wait, I'm 6,000 pounds, remember that? And I immediately dig all four straight into a hole, 1.5 feet deep. At what was it, 3 o'clock in the morning at that point, 3:30.
Mason, will you listen to this story?
Yeah, it was at that point. It was 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 3:30 in the morning.
And what is happening?
Listen to the fucking story, dude.
I've heard the story. I know the story.
Yeah.
I know how this story
Okay,
is.
so
he knows.
I'm listening.
So wait, where is he?
He has now,
Physically, I think.
he has now pulled up behind him because his buddy wants to get yanked at 1:30 in the morning. And
It's
right
right-
where his endpoint is in his truck, so he can hook him up.
Yeah.
Nope.
So physically, I'm in Flagstaff,
Oh,
Arizona.
well, obviously,
Yeah.
because he called you at 1:30 to get a yank in Flagstaff.
Yeah, exactly. He needed a quick yank in Flagstaff.
Yeah.
Because he's high centered and he needs it from the rear because
Yeah.
he's forward. He's facing that way, and I'm coming in from behind. You see.
Yeah, and he likes you because you have the low point.
Exactly. I have the low point, and I've got the low center of gravity, and I've got the big weight, dude. So I'm good for it. I'm good for a quick yank, man. So as I'm approaching him for the quick yank from behind, I discovered that the snow is not it's not as supportive as I would have liked, and I put my truck 1.5 feet down into the snow, where I find the dirt is covered up by 1.5 inches of ice. It is about 5 degrees, I would say. And I call him and I say, hey, listen, go ahead and get comfortable or do whatever you were going to do before you called me, because you're going to be doing that tonight because I am also stuck.
But you were physically stuck.
Physically stuck. My truck is now stuck in the snow about as bad as his is.
What
And
kind of truck do you have?
I have a 1500 HD GMC Sierra
Okay.
GMT
Yeah,
800.
so that's a good.
Got 4x4, right?
Yeah, 4x4.
Yeah, so that's called stuck.
No, very stuck.
Yeah.
I'm the stuckest they've ever seen. I'm the most stuck. So I've got his shovel, and I've got a few things of my own that I brought because I was under the impression I might be showing up to some kind of like dirt related event. Nope, 100% snow for almost 2 feet in certain spots. Fantastic situation. I'm teetering on figuring out what the muzzle velocity of a 9mm tastes like because I'm having a terrible time at this point because I've now just driven 2.5 hours to decide I'm going to sleep somewhere where I'm knee deep in snow. So every 20 minutes or so, I'm turning my truck on to reheat it so I don't freeze to death, which would be very unfortunate. And then I maybe get another 20 minutes of sleep after I heat the truck up. Go back to bed, turn it back on, go back to bed.
Why would you just not leave your truck on?
So that's the fun part is I don't know how it would act in that kind of environment because I don't know if it can vent air very well anywhere but the hood because the bottom of the engine is in snow.
Okay.
And then also heat soaking the parts that are metal.
And maybe it would have melted it and you could have got out.
See, that was a really awesome theory I had as well, but I figure like the engine working is more important than getting in the snow.
It's like, do I get out that badly or do I just die?
Yeah, because I was like, I can get out in the morning as long as I can make it through the night. It's not a big deal. I just wanted I wanted daylight at the very least to warm me up because it was windy and cold, and those are not like, two good things you want in 5-degree temperatures.
So you made it through the night.
I made it through the night. I survived. We eventually, after making many failed attempts at getting at least my truck out, got a tow truck to come out. And I called up one of my buddies who's local out there, and I was like, "Hey man, what are you up to?" And he goes, "Nothing." I'm like, "Cool." Well,
Let me guess. You said, "Bro, can I get a quick yank?"
yes, yeah. I said, "Bro, come check it out. I need a yank from behind." But I told him, I'm like, "Hey man, just don't even drive onto the road. I don't know if it's remotely stable. I got stuck on it. I came out here to help a guy who got stuck on it. I don't want to see you get stuck on it." And he goes, "No, I know what I'm doing." Blah blah blah. So he rolls up, and he's pretty confident that he can get me out at the very least. My buddy is, 8 times as far as I am from where I got stuck.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty serious situation he's in. And I'm like, eee. So he backs up to try to get me out, and where he's getting his D-links ready and everything. And right as he starts to bump in reverse a little bit more to get closer to my truck, he just starts digging a little hole. Awesome. "Hey, are you stuck?" "Yeah, I'm stuck." Okay, so now we've got 3 trucks stuck. About 7 o'clock in the morning. Maybe 8 actually at this point in time. So I'm like, all right, so what happens now? Well, my buddy who got stuck in the first place, his girlfriend's been on the phone with tow truck companies all morning, and she finally got someone that would come pull us out of the snow. All-weather towing, by the way. Go find them. If you ever need any sort of towing in Flagstaff, all-weather towing, for any reason, just call them. They're great people because they got us out. They had to daisy chain the tow truck's winch to my buddy's Tacoma to my truck just to get me out because they didn't have enough rope to winch it out straight up. So yeah, they used his truck as a median tethering point to get to my truck in one piece. And it still took them 30 to 40 minutes to get my truck out. Now, mind you,
Why did they choose to take your truck out first?
well, they didn't. They
Okay.
got the Tacoma out with
Okay.
my truck as part of their tethering system. And at
What
that
kind
point,
of truck did your buddy have?
the one who got stuck first,
Yeah.
Ford Ranger 2021, I think.
Okay, so that leaves as what? Dodge Ram the best truck because it didn't get stuck?
No, the tow truck was a Ford, unfortunately. And
Yeah,
that
but
got
it's
us
also
all
a tow truck. But just a normal truck, you got to go Dodge.
No,
Well, it doesn't look good for Tacoma, your Chevy/GMC,
yeah.
or so
Yeah.
it's a bad commercial for them.
Ford
It is.
built Ford tough.
The Ford,
Except snow.
the Ford got stuck first. I sold my Ford for a reason.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
you have a
remember
Ford.
this.
We've got 2 of them.
He does have 2
Oh yeah, you
Fords.
do have two.
I didn't condone the purchase of the second Ford, for the record. I told him not to buy that one. He likes it.
Do you still have that truck, by the way?
No, it's gone.
Which
Did you
one?
li-
The
did
GMC?
Did you like the GMC?
He saw
Oh,
the
no,
GMC.
I still have the GMC. I don't have my Ford, though.
Yeah, but
Okay.
how do you like your GMC?
It's fantastic.
That's the truck I want.
Yeah, it's a good truck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the 6-liter trailer. But yeah, eventually we get both my truck and my buddy's truck out. It's probably about teetering 9 to 10 o'clock at this point. Maybe
This
a
is
little closer to
Sunday, right?
11. This is Sunday morning after a Saturday of working all day. Having a fantastic day. I'm cold. I've had nothing to eat but a granola bar and the water bottle I happen to have in my back seat. At one point, I decided to take my shoes off to get the snow out of them before they melted into water onto my socks. In the process, I ripped the back of both of my shoes because they were frozen solid. That was fun. At that point, there was no keeping
Were
water.
those Red Wings?
Huh? No, they were
Okay.
Vans, high tops. Unfortunate. But yeah, got my shoes ripped in half, soaked feet up to my ankles, having a terrible ass morning. No coffee, no cheeseburger, nothing. I was asking the tow truck driver, I'm like, what do you need to help get me out of here faster? Like a hug? He said, will a hug help you? No, please don't hug me. It's like, okay.
So what time did you get to bed?
To bed on Sunday? Like 5 o'clock.
PM.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because I had to drive the 2.5 hours back.
Yeah.
Through
Sounds
traffic.
awful. I'd rather have had my night.
I think I would have had your night too.
Yeah.
I think I would have rather had many people's nights. I think I would have rather have been upset losing money at a casino because I still paid money. I paid for my friend's tow who got stuck trying to get me out.
Oh, okay. That's a nice move.
Yeah.
Actually, I would have not paid it because I've been like, dude, I told you not to fucking come.
Oh no.
It's your fault because you thought you were a badass, but Tacomas suck. So
Yeah. Tacoma.
you know who else has a Tacoma? Scott.
Who's had the most unreliable vehicle on this podcast to date?
Scott.
Scott.
All right. We ready?
Let's get the party started.
Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sledgehammers in the Office podcast, where we celebrate the heavy hitters on the job site and in the office. Today, I'm joined by Joseph Morris. What are we drinking, sir?
We're drinking Mountain Dew because I needed something to wash down my gas station orange chicken taquitos with.
As well as MasonOxendale. What do we got?
Rooster Booster. I think they call the Frizzonis.
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Seth. We buy each other one of these for each other's birthdays every year. And he finally just got a QT out in Tennessee,
Whoa.
right by his house.
Congratulations. Is
There
that
we
what
go.
the QT gift card's for in your office?
No, that was from a lender because
Nice.
I'm awesome.
Can concur.
Yeah. I think
Self-proclaimed.
everyone in the office got one, so. And then,
Yeah, actually, I think it was in the Christmas card.
yep. As always, Shamrock, chocolate milk, whole milk, not the 1%, because that's how we roll.
For the record, though, that it's empty.
Yeah.
It's gone.
We don't mess around. All right, so let's hit a couple of our numbers real quick. It's been a minute. Active inventory, this is going to be, we're talking about the homes for Maricopa County. This is in Arizona, so think greater Phoenix area. We hope that if you're here, this gives you an idea of what the market's doing with the supply and demand. If you're outside of our market, we hope that this gives you kind of a general idea of what the real estate market's doing, along with some of the building prices. So, active homes right now is 12,082. This is probably roughly the same from the last time we had the podcast closed, 3,847, right around the same number. Interest rate, conventional loan is going to be between 5.99 to 6.49. And then we've got our 2x4s, which are 325. I believe that's the same. Plywood, this is, I think, the lowest we've seen since we've been recording and tracking it at 1160. And then the 10-foot, 1/2 inch copper pipe is at 2496. So there's the numbers. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what we've seen. It's kind of nice to see that things are steady. One thing I did want to talk about real quickly before we started jumping into some of our topics is just some of the guys that I get to work with. So that's going to be Joe, and then that's going to be Bobby as well. He hasn't been on the podcast. We've been talking about getting him in here for an episode.
Is that the guy when he bought lube
Yeah.
and he came?
Yeah, he came.
That Bobby?
Yep.
He came
Okay.
when I got the lube, dude.
So, but Bobby and Joe, they've been helping me out with some projects like Joe mentioned. Joe's been helping me out last couple weeks with some stuff. We do the projects as we kind of have them come in. So, but a lot of that involves us doing work outside of our normal work hours, and we're pulling late nights, or if it's on the weekends, we'll pull early mornings to late nights. So, Joe and Bobby are obviously just, they're hardworking motherfuckers, because when we roll onto a site, shit starts happening.
Homeowners get uncomfortable. Only because we will start rolling tents out, and they start asking questions.
Yeah. Sometimes we have to let homeowners know to tell us when to leave, because we will set up shop.
We'll break the law to do it too, and we have, and we'll do it again.
Kind of like when you went
Theoretically.
riding.
Pardon?
Kind of like when you guys went riding in Minecraft.
Yes, in Minecraft.
And then did want to talk about Mason real quick. Probably something that a lot of people don't know is just as far as how much time he puts into his family with taking care of not just his kids and his household, but also he's living with his dad, making sure everything's taken care of there. So I really respect the people that work hard and take care of the people around them. So that's Mason, and just want to give him a shout out there.
To be clear, I don't permanently live with my father. We're getting a house built, and he's living with us when it gets done. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Continue.
He's notorious.
So, in some ways, we're moving slow, but it's because we've got a lot of stuff that's going on in our lives as far as work that is providing for us, our families, and all that good stuff. But
And because we didn't close a deal or fix one house and all of a sudden want to become coaches and teach other people how to do it, we're actually in the fucking industry.
in the fucking trenches.
Yeah.
But
Dude, that's my favorite pen.
all of that to say,
I know. I'm a mechanic, bro.
He's trying to be sentimental and we're ruining it. Keep going. We appreciate it.
all of that to say, I really appreciate these guys. There's a company, it's AAR, and they've got a phrase that's the hardworking motherfuckers, and that's what these guys are. They work hard, not just on their work that provides for their family, but they work hard at taking care of their family as well. So they're people that I'm very happy to work with. So I appreciate you guys, Joe, especially you, because I know that we probably spend the most time together just slogging through shit. So
Slogging. This is the first time I heard that word.
We've slogged through some serious shit. 5-degree temperatures. Slogged our way through snow-filled driveways.
Yep. So, but yeah, appreciate you guys. You guys work hard. Respect that, and so yeah. Let's jump into
Ditto.
some of the
word.
stuff real quick that we've got lined up. Joe,
Sir?
we've been starting our segment in regards to describing a building process. So, give us that beautiful word picture of a
Big door?
yeah.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Big door system. So recent history came into a situation with a very, very large door in the way that it is.
That's what she said.
Yes, exactly that. She definitely did say that when I showed up and I said, that's a big door. Why does it not work? For those of you who don't know, those slider doors that majority of people have seen in their lives, the companies that make those sometimes push the absolute limits of what structural engineering can physically do to a home. And some people have the money to acquire such things. And it's my job to fix them when they don't operate properly. On occasion, I'm going to need both of these. I will use this one in the time being. Yes, it is a taco man. He's got maracas. He's dancing. So, one of these manufacturers has made a door that meets at a 90-degree angle, and one actually locks into the other. So there is an entire wall of doors that are 12 feet tall and 6 feet wide per door panel. There is 5 on either end. 4 of them move on either end. So these doors will stack kind of like so.
Show the camera.
That's what I'm doing, yes?
Okay. I thought you were more showing Mason, but
Yes, more or less camera. So the doors will stack as a slider.
side by side, overlapping, probably 4 inches on the back.
Exactly, right about there, 4 to 3.5 ish. And
You're pretty familiar with 4.5 inches, aren't you?
that's my favorite number.
Okay.
It fits the best. So the deal is, imagine you've got 4 or 5 of these that are stacking, right? And when they're fully extended, they will make a literal wall, because you're talking about 6 times 4, right? You know more about 6 than I do. I'm a 4 guy for sure.
6 times 4 is 24.
Yes, exactly. So that's big. I don't know.
I think you.
No, I knew what you were saying.
So we've got 24 feet of operable panels, and you've got another 6 feet literally just hanging out in the back where they all tether to. So we've got a 30-foot wall of doors on one side, and then on the other side of the house, we've got another 30-foot wall of doors that meet, like I said, at a 90-degree angle, and the lead panels on either end will lock into each other. And what I mean by lead panel is the one at the very front of the line, the line leader, if you will, if you remember elementary school at all. They all follow the line leader in a nice uniform, single file line. So these doors were not meeting properly at the 90-degree angle that we needed them to for them to lock. Well, when you're talking about doors that are that tall, there's not much in the way of variables that can be changed to make a door operate much better or much worse than it's the same door that's shorter. The worst case scenario, the tolerances are just way lower because the technology doesn't change. It just gets taller.
So just so that we understand correctly, you're saying that regardless of if it's a 30-foot door or which we're talking about 5 panels on each side, or if it's a 90-degree unit, which is only 2 to 3 panels, they could be 3 feet wide. Usually the difficulty is about still the same.
Exactly that.
Okay.
Are we being robbed?
Apparently.
It's all right. Carry on. I'll close the door so we can't hear it. So probably.
Someone's having a really hard time up there.
Yeah. Well, and finish your story. I feel like we're
Fair enough.
squirrel.
Look who it is.
I don't know who that is.
Whoa. He's not even here for the thing.
All right, go on with the story.
All right. So the dilemma here is that one of the panels, or one of the walls, if you will, of doors, is not moving as far as it physically needs to. Now, one thing that'll impede that from happening is if the back of the panels, called the interlock, which is essentially 2 U channels, need to meet like so. What are these gentlemen doing?
Just standing there right now. What up, Scott? Long time no see.
What's up, buddy? On time.
How's the Tacoma doing?
It's good. It was a key.
Yes.
What's up, dude? What's up, everybody?
Adios.
He didn't think we'd be here this
I
late.
literally couldn't get a charger, dude, because your freaking days have been nuts. So I'll let you guys get back to it. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
We can grab a seat, yeah? I don't know.
Huh?
You can grab a seat.
Yeah. Well, dude, my wife's already. I'm not saying anything.
All right, so if the back of the panels with the interlock is not in the right position,
So if they're not in the right position, they're not stacking properly. So hypothetically speaking, they're going to be staggered kind of like so, but overlapped of each other. So if your panels are out of adjustment, which means they're not level to whatever the rail or the track levelness is, plumb level square.
essentially if you have one of the wheels on your panel that is raised higher than the other, it is now crooked. So it can slide back and forth down the track, and it might seem like it's fine. But since it is kicked at an angle, you can't reach the same distance as if it is straight up and down like it's supposed to be.
Exactly that. And that means over the course of 5 panels, if all 5 panels are staggered differently like that, then you're going to come up substantially shorter than you need to get to the position you need to actually physically lock the doors together. So now, in this situation where I've got these massive doors, I have the same amount of adjustment on this 12-foot tall door that's 6 foot wide as I do on a door that's 7 feet tall and 36 inches wide. The only difference is the same amount of screw turns to adjust a door that tall has to be very minute versus a shorter door, because the more I adjust it and the more I try to make it for the difference and make sure they're stacking properly and level with each other, the worse it can get potentially.
And for most sliding doors, if someone wanted to adjust them, where would they most likely find that adjustment to raise or lower the wheels?
You're going to find it at the very bottom of the door, typically towards the end, and it's going to be covered up by a rubber or plastic cap typically. On occasion, with wood-clad doors, you will find them on the inside of the door on the rail side, typically on the wood if it's clad, if you will. But
How
yeah,
often do you run across that versus aluminum?
every single day.
In our
Really?
in our circles,
Oh,
it's pretty
yeah.
common.
Yeah.
High priced. Woohoo.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. Because, all right, so which for most people, if they're going to have a vinyl slider, so if you are having a locking issue or if things seem to be not right, you get a level from Home Depot. It could be a 2-foot level, 4-foot level, and you find out, okay, it's not put in there correctly, and we need some adjustment. It's going to typically be the same thing that Joe's saying, that you'll go find the skinny side of the panels, look towards the bottom. There's going to be a hole that is drilled in there, and you should be able to see a screw that you can adjust to bring those wheels up and down. And depending on the style of door, clockwise or counterclockwise does vary. So don't tell me that righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, because it does change depending on the type of door. But
And the manufacturer and where they
Yes.
get their parts from.
yes. But basically bringing that door into the correct alignment, you can get a usually better function from the rollers or a better locking mechanism.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes doors straight up will not function if they're not perfectly square and level.
Yeah.
They will just roll like crap and run themselves over and break weather strip and all kinds of various terrible things that can happen to a door because the screw wasn't turned twice.
Yep. which hopefully we'll be able to. We've talked about this, and like we said, we've got real lives, real businesses that we're taking care of. But we're going to try and start doing some almost like how-to videos or how we do things videos, where we'll kind of be building almost like a set in a way to show you how we do some of these projects. So
We're going to do some product testing as well.
yes, we will. But when we release those, we'll let you guys know on the podcast. But we're still working on that, scheduling times to get that done. So something we did want to talk about before we got out of here was some of the pricing, price reporting that we're seeing on these in the houses in Arizona. We've talked about it before. Sometimes the median purchase price is going to be a big thing that we're tracking. We've got the updated numbers for December. Mason, do you have those in front of you right now?
Yeah, I was half listening. We're looking at the numbers, right?
You were
Great
looking at the numbers.
podcasting.
Yeah,
I was looking up information.
gotcha.
Mr. Cox will teach you everything you need to know about the numbers. Call him.
Yeah.
602-648-1230.
Or leave them alone, one of the two.
Sales associate. Oh, maybe he won't tell you anything you need to know. Don't call him.
But this is in the real estate,
Read the numbers off.
the
and I'll
Journal
talk about
of Real Estate and Business. All right.
because I don't know where this is. I haven't looked at this before.
It's page 9. The median purchase price for 2022, so 2 months ago at this point, was $459,999. We'll just call it $460 to make our lives easier, which is compared to $475 in December of 2021. So we have seen a $15,000 drop year over year on that. We have also seen a decline since May, which we've been tracking. This is the 7th consecutive month, I believe. Which we were at $540 in May. So we have now dropped $70,000 on that median purchase price currently. Mason,
Where the hell do you see this? In here.
you're on page 9?
Sure. Yeah, right here, page 9.
Okay, scroll over. So right there, median purchase
Intermission.
price from May, and then this is year over year.
Oh, I was looking at the chart. I don't give a shit about year over year.
We're prepared. Well, okay. If we don't want to compare year over year, that's fine. Well, I still would say we should look at it. But the big thing for me is that since May, that's, what do we say, 7 months in a row of a decline, starting at 540 down to what do we say, 460. So that's 80 grand. That's my bad. I can't do. My brain blanked on the math. 470. That's why it was 70. Sorry about that. $71,000. It's decreased $71,000 since its peak. Thoughts, Mason? Are you still?
I don't think he has
Yeah.
any.
It's peak. What does it mean by that? I don't know. See this? I told you we should have. We should have went through this before we started the podcast. I'm assuming when they mean the peak, they mean like the peak of 2020, right?
No.
What do they mean by the peak?
So, with the median purchase price for the houses, it was going up month over month consecutively, ending in May of 2022, right? So that was when the Arizona median purchase price for single-family
Stop
homes
peaking.
was at its highest. May
Gotcha,
had
yeah.
the highest at 540,000. Right now, as of December 2022, we saw it at 570
Yeah. So it's
or 470. Sorry.
so it's
470.
declining.
Yes.
Okay, which it should. Right?
Why?
Because
Cheaper houses
the
are easier to
rate
sell.
that the rate that it went up was not sustainable.
Are we concerned about how much it's dropped?
No,
Why not?
because what was the median price at the beginning of the spike?
Back when are we starting that? And this
When
is
did-
kind of back to what we said. So, all right,
I'm just saying. So
let me
I'm
paint
just
the
saying
picture.
say that the peaks. So hypothetically, say the peak started at 300,000, and it went all the way up to 5 something.
Yep.
But we're only back down to 4 something,
Yep.
right? So we're not below that average. Once it gets below where the peak started, maybe you have a concern. But we're not even close.
Before where we started the climb.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so my question is though, we've seen thousands of people get mortgages, buy houses buy homes, and now we're seeing a median purchase price, which is going to be influencing our home values, drop $70,000 in 7 months. So averaging $10,000 per month up until now. It was one thing when we said that we saw this back in November, and it looked like things were flattening out, and it was only going to be a $40,000 drop, and we were hoping that we had kind of hit the plateau, and that's where we're finishing at. Where is your line of concern when we slide below 2020 numbers, 2018 numbers, 2019? Like, where for you is that line of concern?
Well, there's so many factors into it because the median price, like, do they include multi-million-dollar homes? Because anything that happens to the normal residential market, the luxury market, it's 6 to 12 months before you see any kind of difference. So it's like when you run the numbers, the luxury market's not necessarily in the same spot that the normal market is.
And that's where we can look at the median purchase price for the year over year broken down by city, because we know from there, like, if we were to look at...
Yeah, and then you can see that not every city, the median purchase price didn't go down in every single city. That's why I don't like using big numbers, because certain cities went up.
But taking a look at it, year over year, which cities didn't drop?
Glendale, Gilbert, Goodyear, Scottsdale. Sun City West didn't drop. Cave Creek, Casa Grande, Coolidge, Avondale.
But we still have a slew of them that are in there that have dropped pretty considerably, right? And we talked about the luxury market, which is going to be made up of, if we look at Carefree took, which I'd say more Cave Creek is where we want to look. Cave Creek is up 48%.
Yeah, but the biggest changes in price drops are also usually in where the median purchase price is at its highest. Right?
What do you mean?
Like the biggest, like there's right here, Carefree. It said the year-over-year change is $376,000. It went down, but the median price point is 1.3 million.
Yep.
Right. But then like Glendale and stuff where they have normal, where the mass purchase a house, those are all going up.
But also look at Cave Creek. Cave Creek's up 48%.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing
and
to
Cave
the other
Creek's
side.
also a growing area too.
That's also a very luxury area too. Mm-hmm. So I think as far as if the way I'm looking at the data as it's presented on this chart, we're looking at the majority of them have seen a loss in that median purchase price year over year. So December 2021 to December 2022, if we were to throw a dart and try and hit a city, more likely than not, we're going to see a decline in the purchase price.
Yeah. But like, what do you like? That's what are we scared of?
Which it's then to say how much of a change have we seen? Because for some of them, like you said, some of them, yep, they're up, but others, and for a good amount of them, they're down.
Yeah.
And sometimes good chunks of change as well.
The biggest thing that drives the purchase price to go up and down is like any market, is your supply and demand.
Right.
Right. So, like these are just, I mean, the numbers are,
and we've talked about this a lot
Yeah.
before, but as far as should anyone be concerned with what they're looking at? Because the supply and demand right now seems to be mostly driven by our interest rates, which is influencing the monthly payment that people are having to
which
pay.
is weird because our interest rates are almost at 6.99, but yet we're in a seller's market right now because of the low inventory. So the buyers are still there.
We're in a buyer's market.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
12,000 inventory. That's a seller's market.
That's a buyer's market.
No, it's not. The lower the inventory, it's just seller's market. If there's more inventory, It's a buyer's market because there's more options to choose from.
What's the average in Arizona? What
Because
Maricopa?
the less number of homes that are available, which means when you put your house on the market, you have less competition. You can get more money. Am I wrong?
I think that with where we're at inventory wise, and how long things are sitting on the market, I think we're in a buyer's market. Because who dictates the terms right now?
You're not the. Let me see the stats right here. You are over the last month. You've seen less and less people getting lower asking prices and aren't getting as much concessions as it once were.
Okay.
In my opinion, what dictates a buyer seller's market is the number of how much inventory is on there.
I would say not necessarily.
Yeah. So
Because in some ways what we've seen is the amount of homes slow that are being sold and the amount of homes that are available increase. So that ratio should be pushing us towards the buyer's market.
the amount of homes available haven't increased.
Yes, it has. Since last year. It's up 3 times what it was
I know,
last
but
year.
we were at a point, I think it was November, we were at 16,000 available homes.
Yes,
That's when we started seeing the crazy, not the crazy, but that's when we started seeing all the concessions and stuff. And we're down to 12,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means that the supply is lower and the demand is higher.
But I believe
So
also
the
the
demand
amount of,
also represents the amount of buyers.
right.
So
and
what I'm so I guess
the
what
amount
I'm-
of buyers is still a lot. The amount of buyers since November has come down as well, because if you remember when we were tracking it, we were in the 4,000s. Now we're below 4,000. So the inventory that's available is lower than November. The amount of homes that have sold on any given week are lower than they were in November. So your ratio
how
that
is
you're
that
dealing with,
how does the number of homes available how does that math work then?
it's supply and demand, like you said. It's numerator and denominator, right? If I have 4,000 homes that are available per week, and I'm selling 3,500, basically I'm
That means more houses are staying on the market. So theoretically,
they're coming off. If I have 4,000 available and 3.5 are being sold every week, I only have 500 left over at the end of the week.
but then also you're saying that in the next week 4,000 more come on the market.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they all still keep going, like we saw back at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. So I mean,
All
just
right,
by the number of
just to make sure we're on the
by
same
the
page,
number
if
of
you have-
homes available, if it keeps getting lower, then that means there's people buying it, which means it's a seller's market.
or they
Granted, I
they
mean,
take them off the market, or there's expired listings.
although too, like some people have the difference, like what happened in the last 2 years is not a normal seller's market.
right.
Right? So people who have been in the industry before 2020, like the number of available homes on the market is what's going to dictate whether it's a buyer or seller's market. Not necessarily like, oh, like just because it's a seller's market doesn't mean that as a seller you're not going to have to give concessions, or it doesn't mean that you're going to get your asking price, right? Because I mean, like I just had my listing, so I thought we had the price overpriced, but we still got our offer on it. We still got a full purchase price offer on it,
Right.
and stuff. So it's just like if you use the the data, which is how many people are getting your asking price versus like if they're getting under. I mean, it all dictates on what the realtor where they had it listed. I mean, like a lot of people are still trying to price it a little high to see if they can squirt out a little bit, or they're even pricing it a little high, knowing that buyers are going to offer 10 grand less and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then it appraises at that because they
Which-
know that.
And if the buyers are offering lower numbers, then I feel like that proves the point that it's a buyer's market.
Just because buyers offer lower numbers doesn't mean it's a buyer's market.
It's one of the factors, though.
Because they're
They're starting to run the show.
We just talked about it in the meeting too. 4 or 5 people are running into issues with their buyers that they're putting offers in homes that have 3 to 4 offers on it. So you're starting to see more offers on homes. Yes, the days on market might be a little higher, but it's also getting lower.
Which I'd say in some ways, then we might be seeing.
Because it's not. I mean, it's not instant too. It's not like all of a sudden that like, it's like, bunch of people are going to buy a bunch of houses. in 1 week, and then all of a sudden it's a seller's or buyer's market. kind of
Right.
thing.
Which I'd say then, if you're correct about that, we should be able to track it in the next couple of weeks to see the amount of closed homes on any given week that we're tracking should be going up compared to a steady or decreasing active inventory on the market.
Yeah.
Because this goes back to when you said supply and demand. The supply and demand is we have, let's just go to it so I don't say it wrong. Joe, do you have a calculator?
Firing.
Okay. Can you divide 12,000 by 3,800, please?
What was the second number you say? 12,000.
12,000 divided by 3,800. And that's just going to be round numbers based off of our inventory that we talked about earlier.
And then, so, I mean, if anybody knows anything about the Cromford report,
Real quick, that's 3.16, right? So now divide for me 6,500 divided by 3,800. That's going to be a 1.7, right?
so what did you just do?
That's numerator and denominator. That's supply and demand.
Okay, so what is it?
What that's showing is
What did you use for the numbers?
the active inventory right now, and then the active inventory when it was back at 6,500. And then I assumed that we had the same amount of closings that we did now.
You mean
as back then.
6,500 available homes for sale?
Yes.
Yeah. Versus 12,000.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Do you know, but like a normal market for Maricopa County is about 15 to 18,000.
And how many are closing every week?
Yeah. I don't know, but that's the steady thing for a normal market where it's a neutral market. It's not a buyer seller.
Where there's a back and forth.
6,500 is abnormal. It's all-time low numbers.
That's what I'm saying.
So that is a
No, all I'm
absolute-
trying to show is that when you take the active number, divide it by the closed number, you're going to get that 1.7. The other one was 1.
six.
It was like
3.6.
We're calculating. Sorry for the long pause.
Is Mason also calculating?
No. Here, let me see the calculator quick.
Very good. Forking over calculator.
Yeah. I just don't know where I'm trying to visualize it.
So you do
I had to delete the
12,000 divided by 3,800 equals 3.157. The other one is 1.7.
So what
right?
does 3.5, what does that mean? What is that? What do you,
If we were to use that as a supply and demand metric,
which one is
right,
it?
It means that the supply it has a factor of 3.15, which is basically almost 2 points higher than if it were to be lower. So what I'm saying is, back when we were in a we can say, okay, we were in a seller's frenzy when we were at 6,000, and if we were to be closing the same 3,800 as before, but seeing as that number's gone up, we've moved. We're not in a seller's market anymore. Like, if we want to say both of us might be wrong that we're in a neutral market, I could give you that.
It's not a neutral market though.
But who's dictating the terms of the sale? For the most part.
Anytime you have multiple offers on a home, the seller's dictating the.
But up until recently, that hasn't happened. So
Exactly.
This,
all
this is how
that matters is now. Because week over week over week, it slowly transitions it.
okay, so here's
And
here's what I would concede.
According to the Cromford report, that 75% of the main cities in Maricopa County are in a seller's market. Peoria and another one are in a neutral market, and the other bottom two are in a buyer's market.
Which I know they track that a lot better. It just seems that that's not what's happening, just with our days on market.
What are our days on market at?
I'll have to check.
97.
97.
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
God damn it, where'd you go? Gosh dang it.
All right. So my question is, though, we've seen $70,000 lost on the median purchase price in 7 months. If we get to 12 months and we see $120,000 lost on the median purchase price, any concern with that at all?
Say your scenario again.
We're at 7 months losing $70,000 on the median purchase price right now. If we get to May of this year and we've lost $120,000 on the median purchase price, do we have any concern?
Yeah, if that happens.
Okay.
Oh, wait, sorry, I was half listening. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm trying to find the slides, but yeah.
All right.
So if it goes from 75 to what?
If we go from 70 to 120, and basically if we keep following with the average loss on the median purchase price month over month
For how long?
From May to December, and then in 12 months from May to end of April of this year, we see a loss of $120,000 on the median purchase price. Is there any concern?
Well, where are we? Like, what baseline? Like, where's that baseline from when we went up?
From where we started the climb?
Yeah. I mean,
Which,
like,
that
in real
is-
estate, you can't expect for your home to appreciate necessarily. You know, there's so many highs and lows. I mean, like, just like the people who in 2007 who left their house because they left their house because they bought a house they can't afford. But if you would have just stuck in the house by 2000, you know, almost less than 8 years later, you would have regained all that equity back in the house. My question would more be like, why did you spend that much on a house?
Which
Like, that's what I don't understand why people were going crazy offering $40,000 over. Granted, they're trying to take advantage of the lock-in, the interest rates. So that's how they justified it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my question. So, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not really that concerned because there's more like factors going into it, and I don't foresee it keeping to going down. I mean, the only thing, like when they compare Phoenix to other major markets, we're still one of the youngest markets out there. We have, like, especially compared to like California and New York, we have so much more to grow. And more, what it was that there, it was on that thing too. We were like one of the top five states of the like gaining population. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way.
North Carolina up there.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, mathematically, housing numbers can't keep going down while more and more people move over here either. Right?
Yeah, we're pulling up the numbers.
Years,
Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona.
which is weird because I know like 3 or 4 people that moved to Texas and Florida. But yeah, so our populations, I mean, we're a big major market, but we're also the smallest major market at the same time.
Out of the top 5.
Not to mention, we just got Kevin Durant, so more and more people are going to come here and become Phoenix Suns fans. You know?
That's because that's
So
so
I guess-
all the people from Philly who are coming
So
here.
I guess to answer your question, with all the other factors, with more and more people living here, if it increases that significant, maybe I would start to worry and kind of see where we are, where are the interest rates, what's the market doing, how many buyers are out there looking, how many people are buying, how many people are putting their house on the market, kind of thing. So in my opinion, we're in a. I mean, it's like there was a short span that we were in a buyer's market or in a. You know, like the market's like it's changing rapidly all the time right now, just because it's trying to fix itself essentially, I guess. Well, also the feds are trying to manually fix it too, but it's like it's correcting itself. It's doing weird things right now because it's done something it's never done before, just like when it happened in 2007. But this we can't really predict because it's a lot of stuff's going on. I mean, this whole thing might be irrelevant. This whole podcast might be irrelevant when the fucking economy collapses. Then who cares about real estate? We're all fucked. Especially if we go to crypto. That's not the time to talk about this. But.
Sign me up for ammo over crypto.
Yeah, so, I mean, just using those numbers, I mean, that's not a positive outlook on where the market is going. But I'm not scared. Like, I'm buying it. I mean, not saying that I'm fucking can foresee everything but like, I'm buying a house right now. Yeah, I'm getting Joe raped in the ass with lube, Bobby style, with the interest rates, but that's just something I'm going to have to eat because of my specific scenario situation. I had to buy a new house.
Yep.
So,
Which
I am one of those stupid fucks too.
And to your point, in regards to us seeing this decline right now, obviously we don't have a crystal ball. So we don't know if it stops right here. This is it. This might be the bottom of it. It could keep going to the 120. It could keep going. We don't know. But at the same time too, it could be one of those things as far as if you're getting in now,
Yeah.
we might not be far away from the bottom, so that's one of the things that you can roll the dice on.
Exactly. That's the biggest question I get. Like, when do you think we're going to hit bottom? Well, I don't fucking know. We could be at bottom right now.
And to your point, as far as, I think what it comes back, the one thing that we talk about, like, I usually have a very...
What's a nice way to say it?
Pessimistic.
Yeah.
I will just say pessimistic.
The glass is half empty.
Yeah, which to me is usually just more in response to all these people who are saying the glass is overflowing. But the median purchase price has been dropping. We've seen that for 7 months. And so if January we see that it's the same or higher, there we go. That's great. We've got some light on the horizon. But like Mason's talked about the entire time we've been doing this podcast, what's the biggest thing in regards to buying a house?
Your situation.
Absolutely.
And what do you need to do?
Yep, because if you're going to buy a house right now and you're planning on living there for 5 to 10 years, we're going to be in a different market 5 to 10 years from now. 5 to 10 years than we are right now. So Mason and I can disagree on outlooks in regards to, I might think it's a little more doom and gloom. Mason might be able to say, hey, stop freaking out. But in the end, what we do know, it comes down to each person, each family, their individual needs. And
exactly. And I think you get being more, which I think you're slowly starting to, like, the more boots you have on the ground, like the more you do construction, the more kind of you get in tune with that in real estate. And I've noticed that when you're, because I've had spans where I don't do a lot of real estate. That was when I was dealing with my family stuff, and then picking up, like, the more your boots on the ground, the more you get a better feel of, not necessarily, you get a feel of where the current market is, but you also get a really good feeling of where it is going.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think we're just going to see a weird thing, like we were talking about in our meetings, that the people are having multiple offers on a home. They're having bidding wars again, which is weird as fuck, because normally we've been getting 30 grand in seller concessions to buy down your rate and stuff. But, like, I don't think that's, like, because normally you go through phases: buyer's market, sellers, neutral, buyer, and it's more of a flow where, like, it's been all over the place. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 weeks that, it's back to people getting a lot of money in concessions kind of thing.
Yeah. Which I'd say everything that you've said there is very true, because all the numbers that we looked at, we're looking at the closed houses for the last 30 days. So it takes 30 days for us to get those numbers. Active numbers, obviously, we can see right now, but people who are in it full time, like Mason, they'll be able to see how many offers are coming in on a house, how many showings are there on a house, things like that. So,
well, here's your November. We were at 56 days on the market. And 2 weeks into February, which, granted, I mean, it's 2 weeks into February, we're at 40 days on the market.
So 10 less?
16. 16 less. So it's slowly going. I mean, like, the days on the market peaked at 56 around November. Like, that's the highest that it got.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll keep our eyes on it.
Anyways, yeah. So if you like the argument, stay tuned in next week to find out where the numbers are.
Actually, next week we're supposed to have a guest, so I've got to finalize that. So, love for you guys to be here for that. So we've got it's the sister to Carlos Navarro. Her name's Leslie. She's going to be on here talking about insurance. So,
What kind of insurance?
car, home, all that good
I
stuff.
have an insurance guy. I don't know if he'll allow me to cheat on him.
Doesn't mean you have to buy insurance from her, but just have a conversation. Ask her about her business, what she's doing, what she sees in her industry.
Joe,
Yeah.
how do you feel about this conversation?
Enthralled. It's all very applicable.
Where would you like to see the housing market go?
I would like to see prices come down, but not because I want more people to move here, because I wish that things were more affordable for people who want to get into homes and out of apartments and out of condos and stuff of that nature.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
figured
the
you would be
market
rooting for more of a buyer's market so more people can buy homes and you can fix it for them.
That is also true, but ideally, I'd really like to see the local community be able to grow from it, not people take advantage of it from out of state and come here and ruin the economy just so they could live somewhere cheaper and continue having their jobs in California over the computer.
Okay, so if you're going to move here, bring some type of value
Yes,
to the
exactly.
valley.
Yes, don't just bring your terrible driving habits and your love for Starbucks.
What about $40 massage parlors?
As long as they're open past 12.
All right, that's the show. Joe, where can they find you?
Search it _there on Instagram. Really haven't been posting much, but if you want to see me do 50 plus miles an hour on a mini bike powered by a lawnmower engine, that is available. Or terrible memes, like people being towed behind fighter jets on sleds.
And I'll just say be careful with that.
Which part?
Both.
No.
Mason.
If you would like to interact with me, the best place would be on the IG. DM me, see what's going on. A lot of life stuff going on in there. But more real estate related. I'll post a couple articles a month on my, if you're not a part of my, on my emails, I put it on my business Facebook page, MasonOxendale Realtor. So if you want a little more stuff about real estate specific, go check it out. And if you want to, go ahead and like it. I don't even care.
He cares.
We care. We want Mason to succeed. He does good stuff, like we talked about earlier. I think I'm going to try and be transitioning more and more away from.
Oh, I didn't know you were telling everybody that you're transitioning.
He's coming out on the podcast.
Away from real estate, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Is that like code? How does that work? We're going to fake estate?
Most of the stuff I'm going to be doing real estate, I'm going to try and be probably handing that off to Mason, or if anyone's asking me, I'm going to be handing that more towards him because construction work seems to be picking up for us on our side right now. So if you guys have projects
And
you want
didn't
done,
think it was a buyer's market. People are buying houses and you're fixing them. You son of a bitch.
I don't. Fucking Christ. If you have a project for us to work on, we'd be happy to talk to you about it. Obviously, we're in the Phoenix area. If you guys want us to travel across state lines, let's have a conversation because that'd be hilarious. And you down to do that if the money's right?
Yeah.
Same.
Specifically in Vegas.
We'll take Mason with us.
I will show him how to drink alcohol properly.
There we go. All right. That's it for us for tonight. If you want to get in contact with me for the construction stuff, check us out at SITO _building. Check us out on YouTube. It should be Sledgehammers in the Office. If you're watching the podcast there, thank you so much. Please subscribe, tell a friend. Until next time, I hope your hammer stays accurate, your Wi-Fi fast, and your work blessed. See everybody.